Jeopardy! Introduces new changes, fans concerned. Jeopardy! Recently introduced some huge changes to the beloved game show, and some of these changes have viewers concerned. So, what's going on, and what did the show change? Jeopardy! Back for an all-new season. After a brief hiatus, Jeopardy! Is back with an all-new season. This means a fresh batch of competitors for viewers to dig into. There's also the mystery surrounding who could potentially become the champion with the longest winning streak this season. This is something that viewers always look for anytime new players get on set. Anyone has the potential to get hot and put an incredible winning streak together. So, the added mystery of who the next player could be that etches themselves into Jeopardy! Lore is another aspect of the show that keeps viewers locked in. Jeopardy! And other game show viewers do not like change. When you have a show like Jeopardy!, which is in season 41, it goes without saying that these long-running shows build their reputation from tradition. Game shows like these often become a constant in a lot of people's lives despite things around them constantly changing. It goes without saying that viewers of shows like Family Feud, Jeopardy!, The Price is Right, and Wheel of Fortune do not like change. It's even worse when a new host has to take the reins. However, Jeopardy! Made some recent changes to how they do things that are concerning longtime viewers. Game show fans concerned about changes to Season 41. One huge change to Jeopardy! In Season 41 is the iconic game board. Previously, there were individual monitors for each of the categories and their corresponding values. However, it's now just one large screen instead of individual screens. Host Ken Jennings will also go back to standing next to contestant podiums during the interview segment of the show. Before this, Ken would stand at his podium and ask questions, but closing the gap is certainly one way to bring back a more personal touch to things. So far, reactions to these changes are a mixed bag, with some Jeopardy! Viewers even expressing concern over this new direction for the game show. One commenter noted some of these changes, saying, "Also noticed that Ken is now walking closer to the contestants' podiums than before during their introductions." Another Jeopardy! Commenter added, "Would still at the very least like a new version of the Think music to match the theme that Bleeding Fingers did." A third person said, "Interested to see how the new board works. Hopefully it's less glitchy than Wheels." For now, fans will have to wait and see how these new changes affect the game, especially since game show fans don't like their favorite shows messed with. For decades, Jeopardy! Has been a pillar of intellectual entertainment, a game show where quick thinking and deep knowledge reigns supreme. However, recent changes to the beloved format have left some fans questioning whether the show is straying too far from its roots. Producers recently announced several modifications, including tweaks to the contestant selection process, adjustments to the famous daily double structure, and even slight alterations to the iconic music and graphics. While change is inevitable in television, some longtime viewers worry these shifts could dilute the essence of what has made Jeopardy! An enduring classic. One of the most talked about adjustments is the introduction of a new rule that limits how many times a champion can return. Traditionally, champions could continue competing until defeated, but the new format caps their reign, preventing record-breaking streaks like those of Ken Jennings and James Holzhauer. Some argue that this levels the playing field, but others fear it strips the game of its dramatic long-run narratives. Additionally, subtle modifications to the question difficulty and pacing have raised eyebrows. A faster-paced game might appeal to younger audiences, but some traditionalists feel it sacrifices the deliberation and strategy that define Jeopardy! Social media has been buzzing with reactions, with hashtags like #SaveJeopardy trending. Some fans embrace the evolution, seeing it as a necessary step to keep the show fresh, while others lament the departure from tradition. As Jeopardy! Moves forward, it faces the challenge of balancing innovation with nostalgia. Can it retain its intellectual prestige while adapting to modern television trends? Fans will have to tune in to find out.